ZZ109FM, the hottest radio station on the planet. It's your boy Loratti. We're coming out live and direct from Orlando, Florida. In the studio to help us out today on this special show is Miss Elsie Jenkins. Miss Jenkins, how you liking this beautiful weather out here?
Oh Lord, I can tell you right now, this is a wonderful opportunity to relax and get out and enjoy my time off, if you want to call it that. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, we're still working, but we do get a little downtime. It's okay. But nonetheless, we're taking in the sun. Also, to help us out in the studio is 10th grade education Bob. Bob, how you feeling? I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling fine. Hopefully, we can get this show going on quick so I can get back into the pool and get back on my grill with my hot sausages.
Lord Bob, you know what? You're supposed to be working, not thinking about food. Lord have mercy.
That's all right, Bob. Once you get off of this control panel, I'm going to need you to go and finish those dogs for us. Also in the studio to help us out is Reverend No Show. Reverend No Show, how you doing?
Loratti, I'm doing good. Miss Jenkins, doing fine. 10th grade education, Bob, I'm doing fine. And hopefully you listeners out there are doing fine in this beautiful planet we are on today.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we got a special show here. We were enjoying the summer. We did our usual show about drowning. You know, some people can get the information. Sometimes they can't get the information. So every year we do it. Hopefully someone will get the information about the importance of being aware of the obstacles that can really cause your summer fun to turn tragic into a tragic situation and a sad situation for everyone involved. So we're doing this show because we heard of two twin 5-year-olds that drowned in a pool in Orlando. And it was a heartbreaking thing to hear, considering we talk about drowning all the time. So, you know, we got together as quickly as possible and we put together this show that is going to go over just some basic things that you need to understand when you're on vacation. And hopefully you'll keep these in your back pocket of survival tips in the future now that you're hearing this. But these two 5-year-olds, and it was sad for me to even envision the two 5-year-olds in the pool together. You know, they came here together and they left here together. And I can't say it's a beautiful thing because, you know, we're looking at a situation where a 15-year-old was supposed to be supervising the girls. Now, we go around the room and I ask you, how do you feel about a 15-year-old supervising girls? Ms. Jenkins?
Well, Lord, I was young babysitting back in the day. And I tell you now, I was responsible and I did what I was supposed to do. I didn't have anything to distract me. So not sure about the situation here, whether this young person was distracted. But nonetheless, it's in my mindset, as long as the teenager is responsible, 15 years old isn't an appropriate age for a babysitter.
Ms. Jenkins, I'm not going to disagree with you, but I've got to agree with you. 15 does seem like an appropriate age. Bob, what do you think?
You know, if the teenager gonna do what they supposed to do and not have a history of causing issues, I don't see the problem.
Reverend Osha, what do you think?
I'm feeling the same way. As long as there's no issues with the youngster, the 15-year-old, I think it's okay.
Now we're here down here at these Florida vacation rental homes, which if you look them up, they're nice. It's a great way to kind of pool your money together and have a very large home where your friends or family can kind of enjoy the city at a very low cost because you're splitting the cost of the home. Only costs us about $400 for 7 days per person. So that's not bad if you think about accommodation spending for just you and a family at a hotel. Nonetheless, you have game rooms, you've got large kitchen, you've got a 9-bedroom, 10-bedroom, a larger home, and you've got a pool. All of them have pools. But the home that we went to this year wasn't as nice as the home last year. It had a lot of problems. One of the issues with this home was that lock on that sliding door. It had a safety lock, which, you know, unless it's used, it's not keeping the door locked. You have the main lock that most people are familiar with on these sliding doors. and this one was loose, and it was halfway locking. So the problem with this door was, if you could say it works or it don't works, then it didn't work. This door wasn't locked properly. Luckily, we didn't have any young kids with us on this trip. But the problem is, what about the family after us? You can't lock this door securely. Then these kids can get the door open and go out in the pool, which is open for everyone to get to. So, Florida vacation rentals, they're an option to use, but this home that we received this summer was in bad shape. When I say bad shape, I mean, the TV signal from Spectrum, who's come a long ways. But I'm gonna tell you now, when your TV signal stops every 3 minutes, 2 minutes, tells you there's a signal issue, and you call people and they supposedly try to fix it. No one can fix it because they say it's Spectrum. That doesn't make any sense. That's a poor excuse because you paid a whole lot of money for this summer house. Everyone doesn't clean the same way, and when you get a hotel room or you get a vacation rental home, it needs to be clean prior to the last family. And this house wasn't clean. It had a lot of areas and red flags that were jumping out at us that we had to clean ourselves. And then the accommodations. When all your accommodations in there, like your seats, your stools, your walls, are damaged, it gives you an overall look that no one is doing maintenance on the property. And that also is an eyesore. You're sitting in there and you're dealing with this. It's not a good experience. So they have good homes, and they have homes that need to be serviced. They need to be repaired. They need to be brought back up to the standard that the newer or better kept homes are in. And this back door with the lock is most important. No house should be given to a family where that back door in the sliding door in the patio does not secure the first time you push that lever. I had to push the lever on our door multiple times before I could get it to lock. Then I used the security lock, the additional lock, to make sure that it was shut or couldn't open if that lock didn't work. So we heard about the 2 5-year-olds, and we wanted to do this show because we were just like, we're gonna keep informing people. I don't care how many times it takes until everyone hears a show where they get to understand that they have to be on their high alert when you're around water. Florida is a special state. There's a lot to do, whether you're by the beaches or you're inland, like Orlando. There's a lot to do. But you have to always be mindful that if you're in Florida, every pool of water outside the house, every little lake, every little stream, there is a possible gator in that water. I don't care where you are, whether you're by the beach, this water is in between houses. There's no excuse. You have to assume that there is a gator in that water. And we've got some videos to show you exactly how these gators, once they get you, they're not going to let go. They're not going to let go. And you've got to do everything in your power to try to pry their little gator mouths open. And the water that you have control over, like your pools, if you have any children, small children, you have to watch them constantly. There is no break when you're by a pool, when you're by water. You don't get a break. And you got to be mindful that these things, regardless of who's babysitting, can happen when you take your attention away. When you take your attention away just for a second, these toddlers can get in that pool. And once they get in that pool, there's no one to tell you. There's no one to help you. And if you have a pet, sometimes a pet, believe it or not, is your last ditch effort to save a life. And we're going to show you today exactly what that looks like. So let's get to this show. We're all here in support of the 2 5-year-olds, Parker and Paisley. 2 5-year-old girls. that won't be here for 2027. That came to Florida, to have fun with the family. And that pool, I tell you, when you go to these vacation homes and you see the pool and it's got a jacuzzi in there for you to jump in there also, it's so promising. It makes you want to just say, wow, I'm so glad I invested in the time and the drive or the flight to get down here to finally just kind of relax. You don't want anything to take that away from you. To quickly kind of look at that scenario, you're going to look at the 15-year-old that was supposed to watch them, and you're going to feel a certain type of way. And you're going to look at the 2 5-year-olds that were supposed to be going back home with us, and they're not. And you're going to look at that and feel a certain type of way. But I think those certain type of ways you're going to feel, you're never ever going to get rid of them ever again. You're going to carry that for the rest of your life. And can you point fingers? Can you put the blame on any person? Maybe not. But that's far from where you need to be in the moment of losing your 2 5-year-olds. All right, ZZ109FM. Let's get to the it's not really excitement, but let's get to the important information that helps us kind of understand that we have to be mindful of where we are, no matter what state when it comes to water. We have to be mindful of where we are swimming. If you're swimming in a public pool, that's any pool that we create, people buy, purchase, or you go, and pay your money to go in. There are lifeguards present, but if you look at the amount of people, that could be in a pool at any given time, even a water park, they can't see everything. So you can't hold them 100% responsible to watch over you and your kids when you're at these locations. You've got to put the majority of the responsibility on yourself to make sure nothing happens, to make sure you all leave and go back home together. So let's take a look at our first video, because we want to kind of get involved and show you and get your mind in a mode where you now have some tools to help you out.
All right, so we look at this first situation here. First of all, diving is a no-no unless you're at a large public facility. If these vacation home pools are only 5 feet, and that's it. They're not very deep. So you don't want to dive into 5 feet. If you look at this video here, this is just a fountain. This isn't even a damn pool to be diving in. And the young man dives in the pool head first. As you can see, these people stand up in the pool that they stand up in is not very deep. But if you look at his friends around him, now this is the part I have a problem with. You finally get to see who your friends are when you get in this type of situation. Now, he's under the water. He could be playing, because this is where they started off playing. But at no given time are you just going to sit there and look at the person and assume that they're just holding their breath. Now, time is going by. That's the problem with drowning. You can't let too much time go by, because you only have so much air in your body. And if you don't get air after a certain amount of time, you start to perish from the planet. And as you look at this situation, they still haven't taken him out the water yet. He's at the bottom of the pool, and now he's finally getting him up out of there. But so much time has went by. You don't wait and hesitate when you see someone dive in the pool and don't come out of the pool right away. Anybody that dives in the pool right away and doesn't come out, there's something going on, and you have to pay attention and see. Now, in this case, the water only comes up to your thighs, not even deep enough for you to dive in. So red flag should have came into their mindset that something was wrong. But if you're on vacation and you're not at a water park or where the water is obviously deep, you shouldn't dive in the pools. You can jump in the pool all you want to, but diving in head first is a very, very risky thing to do. And if you go into a pool by yourself and dive into 3 feet, and you're the only one in the pool at the time, you can hit your head and knock yourself unconscious and not have anybody around to assist you. So you must be careful and try not to do any diving unless you are in a pool that is authorized for you to be able to do such of an act.
Oh yeah, so we took a look at that video, and it's heartbreaking to think that your friends would just stand around and not check on you, at least double check, because he wasn't responding, and at least a minute went by before they took a good look at him to see if he was okay.
Okay, if you're in Florida, you have to look at it as if there is a gator in every pond, every water opportunity that is outside of a public pool. I don't care if it's a lake, if it's a little pond, if it's a water holding option that they can create that holds water if it rains. You have to assume there's a gator in that water, and you can't stand by these ponds and just feel like you're safe to look in and throw rocks in it, because this next video is going to show you how fast an alligator can get you. And once they get you and grab you, their jaws are so powerful that you can't just open them up with your fingers and release yourself from them. As you can see, this gentleman right here is working around these alligators all the time. No big deal. But the problem is they're animals. And eventually, they're going to eat you. I don't care what anybody says. You're maybe in a relationship where you have this activity going on and y'all do shows, but there's if an animal gets an opportunity and they're hungry, I have no doubt that they're going to eat you. They're going to eat you, and that will be the last time that we see you on the planet. Now, who's going to jump in after this man, after the alligator has pulled him in the water? Who's going to jump in? Bob, are you going to jump in?
Oh no, he's gonna.
Reverend No Show?
Miss Jenkins, I'll do what I can to help him, but I can't jump in after him and help him. He's already too far gone for me, and I'm just gonna have to give him some prayer.
LORATTI, what do you think?
Miss Jenkins, I'm not jumping in there. No, that alligator is too strong, too powerful, and once it's got him at this point, there's no turning back. It's too late. There's no window to help him now, and you don't want to be a casualty helping him. So you've got to make a decision. Some of these scenarios we look at, you have to make a decision where you can't help anymore, and that's where some people in some of these future videos we're going to show you lose their lives because they still try to help when there is no more opportunity, no more room to help the person. There's no more room. So you've got to make a decision to let them go.
All right, so we look at this next scenario. Now, Florida has a lot of places that you can just drive up to, get your boat, go out there boating. You can go out and do water events and stuff like that. But it's still risky. It's still risky because there's always a chance that there's a gator in the water. There's always a chance that you can drown in the water. If you look at this scenario here, you got 3 girls that get caught in a current. Now, these currents are in the water. These currents, you can't see them. And a lot of times, you're not in the current when you initially get in the water. It's the point where you start to go too far out from the shore that the current picks you and carries you away. In this case, you see the girls, they're by the water side, but then they start to get taken back from the current. And when the current starts to take you down, it's keeping you from staying afloat to get air. And it's kind of like a vacuum pulling you down until it actually pulls you into the current. Now, the sad part here is whoever's doing the videotaping. At this point, you cannot go in there after them to try to save them. Because if you try to save them, the current will take you away as well. These ladies that you see are no longer here on the planet. And there has to be a point where you say to yourself, there's nothing more that I can do. You have to go get help. And that's it. Don't just stand there and try to figure out some way to help them when at this point they're out of your reach, you have to go get help. It's very important to get help because the sooner help is on the way, the better chance there is that there'll be some survival for those in the situation that they're in. So always remember to get help before you start trying to really help somebody. Get 911, whoever, en route to start helping or headed that way to help you out. But it's sad. These videos are here. These videos are present. And you can see that the person taking the video is helpless. There's nothing they can do to help the situation.
ZZ109FM, hottest radio station on the planet. It's your boy, Loratti. We're broadcasting live from Orlando. And we're throwing some awareness out there for those that are out, vacation homes, at the pools. Reason why we jumped on the airwaves was because of two twin 5-year-olds that lost their life. And the vacation that you want to go and have and enjoy abruptly turns into a very sad situation. We've been showing you some clips, and this current clip we're watching is indeed one of those sad situations. Regardless, whether you're an adult or you're a teenager and you're babysitting, you have to be mindful of where these toddlers are at all times. You've got to know where they are. I've noticed that some toddlers are good. They sit there and they'll watch, the cartoons and do absolutely nothing. There are other toddlers, though, that get into everything. And that's important because those type of toddlers, you have to be mindful of where they are every minute, every second that they're awake. It's only when they're sleeping you get a break. But when they wake up, it's nonstop. So the current video we're looking at is the scenario that we all don't want to happen. No adult, no supervision, no babysitter around. And what these little guys, these little toddlers don't understand is that if they try to help each other, which is what they are very smart and intelligent in trying to do, that it's going to cause both of them to lose their lives. And as you look at this video, you'll see one of the toddlers went to the pool and went to the deep end. And this is a pretty deep end. I can't see the bottom from the video, but I'm pretty sure it's more than 5 feet. But the other toddler goes and tries to help the first toddler. And the problem here is that toddler gets in the water also. Where is the parent? Where's the babysitter? Who's watching these kids? If there's no one to watch them and they get into this scenario, the situation is pretty simple. They're not going to survive it. And it's got to hurt inside if you're on vacation and you go all the way down there via plane or car with these two, anticipating the fun that you're going to have when you get here. And this happens. We've got to be mindful that drowning is real. 3,000 or more people in America die every year. Every year. So we've got to have some type of a serious mindset that, I'm going away, but I'm not drowning today. I'm going away, but I'm not drowning today. And going out too far at the beach in that water, rip current can take you away. Not having flotation devices, not being supervised, losing track of where the kids are. When there's a pool present, not a big deal when you're in a house without a pool, but if you have a pool, now you have to be mindful. Unless that pool has security measures that keeps them from getting in, you've got to be mindful of where these toddlers are at all times. At all times.
You have to be mindful, regardless of what type of water you're around. That in Florida, there is a gator in that water. I don't care what anybody around you tells you. The signs, if they're there, they warn you. If the alligator sign is not there, you should also still be mindful that there's one in that water. When the alligator gets you, like the alligator got this lady in this video, he's not going to let you go. He's not going to be sympathetic for you. He's going to, if you look at this alligator, he took his time. Because a lot of alligators are smart. They know once their prey is brought out there into the water, that 9 times out of 10, once they're done drowning, they stop struggling. And then the alligator goes and does what he does and eats what he has found. Whether it's a person, human being, or a dog, they like dogs in the water, or anything large, a large animal. They'll take them out. Some of them alligators don't have time to do all that. They'll twist and tear your hind parts apart to get you discombobulated and then eat you. And alligators like to eat things whole. They like to just gobble it up. And their digestive system is one of the most potent digestive systems on the planet. So, you have to be careful when you're in Florida. You don't stand by ponds, you don't stand by lakes or bodies of water, because 9 times out of 10, there's something in that water, and it's an alligator.
Now, some vacation homes out there in Florida have lakes. They have water behind them, near them, which, they don't recommend jumping in them and swimming in them. But across the United States, there are areas you don't have to worry about alligators, hopefully, because some alligators are found in fresh water. If there are rivers near, they can travel the river to fresh water, believe it or not. But a lot of times, alligators aren't your worst enemy in these ponds of water, bodies of water. It's these currents. If you look at this current video, you can see that whatever this current is, it's almost like a whirlpool kind of sucking motion. It's pulling you under. It's not dragging you down like you think in the movies, like a river would flow. These currents flow downward and pull and kind of pull you under. When this happens, you have nothing to hold on to. You have nothing to grab onto, and you don't have the strength to continue to try to tread water and stay above and get air. This scenario right here, which is one where they're supposed to be having fun, turns tragic because they don't consider that there could be a current here. No flotation device, nothing. This kind of current is relentless. It won't let you go. And as you can see in this video, that's it. How many people have been taken in by these currents all across the planet in whatever body of water you jump in? It's not, you can't predict it, you can't see it. So in my mindset is, this body of water, I'm just not swimming in it. There's too many factors that could cause me to lose my life, a friend or family member to lose their life, when you don't know what you're dealing with when it comes to that body of water you're looking at jumping in. But it's sad, because we have the technology today to record our deaths, to record the tragedies. The technology is present, and it is doing exactly that. Recording, the last moments of human beings on the planet. But it's a blessing because now you can see that it is so important to take drowning seriously. If you're by a pool and there's no lifeguard, you are the lifeguard. No one else is going to do it for you. And these type of lakes that we're seeing here and waterways, there is no one to help you if you get in a situation in this water. No one. And who's going to help you if they see you in this situation? Because if someone was to have jumped in this pool after these 3 young men, it's very possible they may have lost their life too. So these scenarios are to me very simple. If you can't reach them, then you have to disconnect yourself from the situation and get help. The sooner you get help there, the better chances are that there may be survival for those three young men. But you going in after them is not the answer. You have to go and get help. You have to go and get help.
Now we're talking about water safety, but I'm gonna tell you now what we didn't really kind of focus on because we were so focused on the drownings that we didn't focus on the sharks. You at the beach, you can't be out so far that no one can help you. If you look at this video here, this person out here is out too far in the water. Why are you out that far in the water? There's no reason to be that far in the water. And as you look, you'll see the shark is out there. And the man and the shark disappear. That's it. That's it. No one can come out there to help you. You're too far out in the water. And it's just you and that shark. And if you look at the sharks, they wail, they flip around, they move around, but they do that so their teeth can cut and slice and dice. They have powerful muscles in their body that allow them to do this. You're in their home, not your home. You're in their home, their habitat. And they have ways of making it your last day on the planet. Your last day on the planet. So you got to be mindful of all these things we're talking about. Drowning. Watch out for the lakes and the areas where there's light, small but light water. It looks harmless, but I'm telling you now, alligators can sit in those small areas and stay there. And stay there until something comes up to the shore. They're in no hurry to eat anything. They can sit there without any issue until something comes up to the shore, doesn't pay attention, and it will come out that water and snatch you in. Snatch you in. And the sharks are out there. The people are on the beach. You can't go out too far, because if you go out too far, this situation you're seeing here can be you. Trying to enjoy your summer, but you went out too far in the water. And your summer can end abruptly because of the decision you made.
ZZ109FM, hottest radio station on the planet. It's your boy Loratti. We're trying to just bring forth information to make you aware. If you have young kids around you, you've got to be mindful that you know where they are when you have a pool, whether you're at home or on vacation. If you're in Florida, you have to be mindful that anywhere there's water, there could be an alligator. And if you're by the beaches, you have to be mindful that sharks are out there. The further you go out, the less of a chance and opportunity for someone to come and save you if something happens to you, like the gentleman we saw earlier. This scenario you're seeing here is just showing you how powerful the grip is on those alligators. When you work around these alligators, if you make a mistake, if you make one mistake, that could be the end of your arm, your leg, your hand, or your life. And this man is in there trying to get this alligator his mouth open, but unless this alligator wants to open his mouth, that's a lot of pressure that alligator has on that arm, on that extremity, and that mouth is not going to open. It's not going to open. So this summer, is just starting, and we've got a long ways to go, but we want you to be safe. We want you to get home with all of your family members. We want you to enjoy yourself and have a good time. But you got to be careful. When you go into these theme parks, you got to be careful. You got to keep track of people today because trafficking is real. There's a lot of scenarios out here that you have to be mindful of as you navigate the summer, more than normal. But yes, teenagers want to go to the park and they want to get on the rides, and a lot of times you just got to let them go. But you still got to be mindful that the traffickers are out there. It doesn't matter if it's a male or a female. They are out there and they're looking for opportunities to grab people. So you got to be mindful and you got to have your guard up when you're at these parks. Communication is important, but we noticed this year at SeaWorld, they won't let you take your cell phones on the rides. So you have to take your cell phone and pay $5 to put it inside of a storage bin. Yeah, $5. But you can't take your cell phone on the rides anymore. Okay. It's good to know once you get there, but they could have notified people, in a commercial or some way that this was the case before you got to the park. Not much you can do about it once you're there. But see, now you have no communication as they're going from ride to ride to ride. If you need to contact them, they don't have their phones now. I don't know. Is it helping or is it hurting? They have nets that catch the phones if they come out of your grip, out of your pocket. But you get that at the end of the day. Maybe not. It's just lost. But at least you have your phone in case there's a problem, a situation. Without your phones now, they have no communication with you whatsoever. So this summer's an interesting summer because you still got these factors you have to worry about, and some new rules are in place. We'll address some of these areas when it comes to traveling to these parks and recreational areas because they're always changing rules in later broadcasts. ZZ109FM, this is the hottest radio station on the planet. Your summer 2026 and beyond, we want them to be safe. We want you to all get there and come home together. To do that, you have to be ready to still be alert while on vacation. Still be alert to where everybody is. And still be alert to the threats that are around you as you're enjoying yourself for however many days you're out there on vacation. All right, ZZ109FM, we appreciate you for listening. Be safe this summer. Enjoy your summer, but make it to 2027. You can do it, but you've got to be mindful and you've got to work together with as many people as you can to make sure you all get home safely. You guys take care and appreciate you for listening.